Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with the last day of the Flowering Foils Coronacation Week, our 5-day card making extravaganza using the Flowering Foils Designer Series paper and the So Sentimental Stamp and Die Bundle and Tasteful Textures stamp set. So I hope that you guys have been having a great time this week with all of the cards that I've been bringing to you. They're quick, simple, easy to do, and a lot of fun too. So that's always great. All right, guys, today's project is, I think, the best one yet. I am all about the rainbow colors, bright and cheery and fun in this card, especially right now when we could really use it even more than ever, right? Okay, so with that in mind, I've done a lot of the coloring ahead of time because this is one of those projects that you're going to do quite a bit of coloring. And so you're going to sit in front of the TV watching a show, coloring, or just some nice quiet downtime, relaxing, taking deep breaths, enjoying the moment, and just spending time coloring. It's a lot of fun, and I definitely hope that you try it. Okay, so I've done most all of the coloring ahead of time, so this video will hopefully go by a little bit quicker. Let me go ahead and get started. The first thing that you're going to need is a piece of 4¼ by 11 inches of Melon Mambo cardstock scored at 5½ inches, and this is going to give us our card base. Then you will need a piece of 4" by 5¼ inch of the Flowering Foils Designer Series paper. You're going to need a piece of 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch of Call Me Clover cardstock. Now I'm emphasizing that because it's not our typical layering size, but it's going to give just the slightest little hint of border right there on our card, okay? So that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 of the Call Me Clover. Now you'll notice that I already have a hole in it because you guys know how much I love to borrow from the real estate that gets hidden in the background. So I've used it to die cut the Stitch So Sweetly label. And then you're also going to need a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 inch Whisper White cardstock that you're going to use for the inside layer. And then a scrap of Whisper White cardstock that you're actually going to cut another of these labels from. So you'll have a Call Me Clover and a Whisper White of the same label. And then you're going to cut just inside the stitch marks to make this fantastic layer that fits perfectly on that label, okay? And then we're going to use approximately 6 inches of this really cute Daffodil Delight ruched ribbon, all right? So let me get this moved out of the way and get us started. This is pretty much an assembly at this point, so let's get our layers together here. And some snail. And I'm going to put enough snail on the back of this that I can layer the ruched ribbon, okay? So when I'm doing my end pieces here, I can leave some space, but I'm going to run enough ribbon up each side that I can attach the ribbon here, okay? So let me just eyeball this right about there. And on this side, there we go, very good. And then I'll put just a little more snail on the actual ribbon to hold it to the card layer. Now I like to do that, that's just a little bit of extra insurance to make sure that the ribbon doesn't come out. You don't have to do that, but I like to. All right, there we go. I hope that you guys have been enjoying this week's process. There have been a lot of really good cards shown. Alright guys, as I'm putting this together, this card, normally with these measurements, stands upright. But this time I'm laying it on its side to make it open wide like this. I love it. Alright, it's a tight fit on the front, but it gives just a little peek of color. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now let's get our sentiment. This calls for confetti, and I love this because if you notice, I've colored it in the rainbow colors here so that it matches. But we need it stamped in the Memento Black first. So let's go ahead and tap, tap, tap. Hold it for just a few seconds to give it a nice, good coverage. And then we're going to set it aside for just a second to dry while we do this image right here. I am going to show you how I did it, just in case you've never done it before. So let me bring in my scrap, and I've got that Whisper White cardstock that's going on the inside of our card. And our, excuse me, our Tasteful Textures floral image stamp right here. And I've got a handful of Stampin' Right markers. Now, I'm actually not going to use, let's see, I am going to use all of these. I lied. Okay, so I've got Real Red, I have Melon Mambo, I have Pumpkin Pie, Daffodil Delight, Pool Party, Soft, no, not Soft Sea Zone. That doesn't even make sense. I have Balmy Blue, and Highland Heather, and Call Me Clover. Oh, and that needs to go right there. Okay, so when you're working with the rainbow colors, the big thing is just knowing how the rainbow's laid out, right? So we've got reds to pinks to orange, yellow, green, blues, and purple. So this is the layout of the rainbow, okay? So I like to lay it out here, and then I can put it on here. And I'm actually just doing 3 of the little petals, and I'm using the wider brush tip, okay? Now on the Stampin' Right markers, you can tell easily because there's a thin line and a thick line. So we're using the thicker side, and we're going to use the side of the brush. So we're not actually using the tip. We're just using the side of the brush to color directly onto the stamp, okay? Just like that. And then as we go along, I want to do just 3 petals of each one. Here we go. And this is a little tedious, but it makes a really, really pretty effect. Okay, so we're just going to keep going around the room. Here we go. Keep moving. We're just turning that stamp as we go. Nice and easy. And we don't have to worry about the ink drying up because we're going to huff on it after we get everything colored. So let's do this one here. Still working from the side of our stamp, or side of our marker. And we'll do this one here. You see how laying our markers out ahead of time, we don't have to spend any time thinking about which one to do next. So if you take a minute to lay your markers out first, your coloring time gets decreased by quite a bit. Here we go. And we're almost done One more here. And the fun part of finding out how it looks, so now that we've got everything colored, we're just going to give it a good huff. There we go. I get overly dramatic with that business. And then push and hold for just a second, and then lift off, and you have this beautiful color arrangement. Now, I can go ahead and color over these again using the same colors in the same spots so that my color doesn't mix. And I can stamp the envelope, the envelope and the back side of the envelope too without having to clean my marker or without having to clean my stamp between each set, okay? So you can totally do that. Just make sure that you remember the order. And you can kind of tell. I mean, I can tell that this is the red and the pink and the green and the orange. So I can go from there and gauge where my colors are. Okay, so now we can get this out of the way and put this inside the card. I'm loving the idea of leaving these without any kind of a sentiment inside, because I've got more room to write a cute little note or whatever. So I do still encourage in decorating the insides though, because as we always say, no naked insides and no naked envelopes, right? So don't leave them blank, put something in there. All right, now we've got this confetti sentiment piece here, and I've brought the markers back in because I am just going to take the fine tip at this point, and I'm going to color the letters. And I'm going to do each one a different color. Here we go. This, like I said, this card takes a little bit of time, so now you know why I did all of the other coloring up front. We would be here for an hour if I didn't. So we'll just color. There we go. And it definitely takes some of the time away to have your colors lined up so that all you have to do is grab the next one. So I really like doing that. This card is so bright and cheery. I just love it. Here we go. We're almost done. It doesn't take too long. Of course, you can take a little longer and take your time and just enjoy the moment of coloring, which is great. It's actually therapeutic. Whoops, I already did that one. Whoop. Listen, pay attention to your ends too. The finer tip is definitely easier to get into this tight space, so I don't recommend trying to use the brush tip. Here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do the purple on the last two pieces here. I thought I had another marker over here, and I may have, but I've taken it out, so I'll just add that in. And there we go. Easy peasy. Alright, now this one is going to, well, if I can get it, this one is going to be adhered directly to the label. So just put some snail on there and glue it directly to the label. The stitching makes a nice little guide for you. And then we're going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals. Let's see. You know what? I really want to use my minis because I want to put dimensionals on either side of that ribbon. The reason why I want to make sure that I've got dimensionals on either side of the ribbon is because if you only put them in the center, then the dimensionals will stick to the ribbon only, and your little sentiment will just kind of rock back and forth, and that's a little annoying. So, so if you put dimensionals so that they straddle the ribbon, it will hold your sentiment piece more securely, is what I'm getting at. All right, here we go. There, and see how it doesn't move? It's much more secure when it attaches to either side. All right, now the only thing left to do is to get some of our bling. And for the most part, we've been using the smaller bling, but I really like using the bigger bling on this one because it fills up the holes in the center of the flowers better. So I definitely like there. And how about one right up there? All right, there we go. Okay, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed hanging out with me this week and making all of these beautiful cards. Remember that the promotion is still going on through the end of March, that if you purchase the So Sentimental bundle and a Stampin' Dimensional or a Stampin' Blend marker, you will qualify for the Flowering Foils Designer Series paper. So when you add these to the cart and your other item, dimensionals or marker, and the Flowering Foils DSP, that I will send you the Rhinestone Basic Jewels for free, okay? So don't forget, and you have until March 31st to take me up on the offer. And if you don't already have the Tasteful Texture stamp set, I highly recommend putting this one in your collection. We didn't use any of the sentiments this week, but they are adorable. They're very cute, okay? And I've been using this flowered image on all of the cards this week, so it's just great. Okay, folks, I think that I think that my throat's getting scratchy. Oh my goodness, I have allergies. It's not COVID, I promise. It's not COVID. I have allergies. Okay, I think that we should show all 5 days together so that you can see how they relate to each other. They're not all gonna fit on the screen, so let me do this. There we go. There we go. There they are. All right, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this week with me, and I hope that you take advantage of the offer and make these cards. If you already have the supplies, go ahead and make the cards, and join my Facebook groups, the Stampin' Chicks group on Facebook. I'd love to see your projects, and if you make alternative projects using the supplies, I'd really like to see that too. And stay tuned on Facebook and Instagram because you may see a gift box to hold all of these cards. So as a little bonus for you for following me on Facebook or Instagram, you can see that there. And if you like the instructions, written instructions, or the supply list, you can find the supply list down in the description box below. And you can always visit my blog at stampinchicktn.blogspot.com. I'd love to have you follow me there and on social media using the hashtag #TheStampinChick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, keep crafting. Talk to y'all later. Bye for now.